Salute, Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing. What a classic in Washington, man. Who would have thought we would get this game tonight, man? I certainly did not, as the Knicks gritted this one out in OT with a classic Jalen Brunson 55-piece double nickel masterpiece needed to get the Knicks over the line in this one, man. This one was frustrating early, it was tense, it was tight, and the Knicks clawed their way back, and Jalen Brunson put this team on his back late, together with some other Knicks that stepped up and made some big plays in OT to get this one over the line, man. First of back-to-back against Washington, and we're going to play them again next up on Monday, but the Knicks got this one done, 7 straight. Now 22-10 on the season. Let's talk about it. We're all buzzing tonight, guys. Let's talk about it, and let's give out a game ball, and let's give the flowers to the captain tonight, Jalen Brunson. Right, where would we be without him tonight, man? He was questionable before the game began with right calf soreness, and to get this kind of performance out of JB, man, nothing short of heroic as well. We've got buzzer beater Michael Drake in the building, Sandman. And let's talk about this one, guys. Knicks family, smash that like button. So much to talk about, and going to give out the game balls, obviously, to Jalen Brunson for the A++ performance in this one, man. Obviously, we're going to talk about so good tonight, and we're going to talk about all the good, of course. Karl-Anthony Towns stepped up as well in that fourth quarter. It was a lethargic start, obviously second night of a back-to-back, a gritty jail ball game the night before against Orlando, and the Washington Wizards had us in jail for a lot of this one, right? But we overcame it, and we're showing fight, we're showing grit, right? And like Wilson said, it was a masterpiece. Will Salkin says we're here for the JB's double nickel. Salute to Paula and Joey in the building. The chat's buzzing right now. We've got so many stats, man. But obviously, we have to start with the record, man. Jalen Brunson becomes the second Knick only after Bernard King to have 2 double nickel games, fam. 2 50-piece games as well, right? And the New York Knicks become the first team in franchise in the NBA, the first team in the NBA history to have 4 players have a 40-piece game before the new year. Obviously, we've had Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl-Anthony Towns, and now Jalen Brunson, of course, all have 40-point games. Right? It's never happened in NBA history 4 times before the new year as well. Let's go Knicks, 7 games above 500 now. And we'll have Washington once again on Monday. But Brunson's go-ahead bucket, the Knicks got it done 136 to 132 in overtime. Great composure late to hit those free throws as well. Obviously, Tom Thibodeau, I think it was a good scheme late. The Knicks almost avoided OT with a clever out-of-bounds play that got Karl-Anthony Towns a layup, basically, but he was challenged at the rim with 0.8 of a second remaining, and the Knicks almost got the win in regulation. But in OT, I thought clever fouling as the Knicks were up. We fouled Washington before they could actually get a 3-pointer up when we were up by 3, and we did that twice, and we executed that as well. That's the first time I've really seen that under the Tom Thibodeau regime. CC says happy holidays, salute family. Susan says that's why unguardable Brunson is captain as well. I salute to that, and I also said I'll add to that and say that's why we play the games. Right? Are you not entertained? Because you look at the schedule and we're like, no Jordan Poole, no Kyle Kuzma tonight, and the Knicks should have ran amok. But you factor in the second night of a back-to-back, Tibbs putting extra minutes on these guys in the lead up to this ball game as well. I mean, man, thank goodness we had that, 7-day break during the NBA Cup, because I think we'd be out on our feet, even more. But we got away with this one. Clawed our way back in regulation, being down, I think, 5 with about, just over a minute remaining. 3-pointers from OG Anunoby. Right, this one was a big 3 from OG Anunoby on a kick out from Jalen Brunson. Right, that one was big to help the Knicks force OT. Right, grittiness and offensive rebounds. Got it done in this one. Johnny, what's up? 55p, salute Paul. Let's go Knicks. Daniel Berry's in the house. And Joey DeLuca, appreciate you for the contribution. Let's go, Joey. The Knicks got it done in this one, gritted it out, and that's what we want to see. You know, not every game can be pretty, right? Yes, this game was, you know, a lot of frustrating performances and some, you know, tiredness in this one early, ill discipline as well, allowing the open shooters. I mean, the Champagne game, career high for Champagne with Washington as well after facing his brother the other night with the Spurs. Washington were solid. You know, they were moving on offense. You know, they were really unpredictable tonight. And that's the kind of danger games, you know. These are the real trap games, fam, when you just, you know, you don't know who to guard. They're just moving out there. They're just playing like it's street ball out there as well. And exactly like Buzzer Beater says, fatigue was a huge factor in this one. We do have to factor that in. But should Tibbs have gone to the bench more as well? He didn't really go to that late, you know, and I felt, you know, if we lose, we lose. It's a regular season game. Obviously, you want to win it. But the smart thing would have been to, I think, try to get some more bench legs in there, right, with Landry Shamet. But not many guys had it going. I mean, Deuce McBride couldn't really hit a three. Campaign is in a little bit of a funk as well, fam. But our guys stepped up and they found a way to win, just like Mo says. I think that's really, really key as well. Like Chance says, this is the NBA version of any given Sunday, and we used to be the worst team that plays up to the competition. Now it's nice to win the games that test you. Absolutely, Chance, you said it. I agree with you on that one. Guys, you are firing your takes on fire right now, fam. And Red Exodus Movement says they have a chance to win the next 4 games as well. SF Wisdom, precious quarter body. Let's get that one up here as well as we continue to shout our guys out. How about Catman, Dirk Nowitzki style? That was a big play late on the baseline as well. Cat, like I said, really put in a great fourth quarter. Before that, he was missing, man. He was still in Orlando, as was most of the team. But the captain, man, he was just firing at will. You know, when you keep getting shots up, you get in a rhythm. And even if you have a slow start, and I remember one quarter, Brunson didn't even score any points in this game. If you're just tuning in, Brunson didn't score a point in the second quarter, I believe, and still scored 55, right, which is absolutely insane as well. But how about this for a poster, man? Every young Knicks fan out here has to have that on their wall. I would have had that, man. This poster was crazy from Precious Achua as I pull up the video right now. But look at that still image, man. He caught a body, did Precious Achua. Here it is on the break. Great pass from Landry Shamet, who's earned his way into the rotation. Precious Achua, man, the crowd was going crazy. I was up out of my seat. And what a way to celebrate that one, man. That was one of the best posters I've seen in years, man. Not going to lie. Caught it in stride, cuffed it, and he caught Keyshawn George, man. It was been a murder in the nation's capital. And that one, man, there was a lot of highlight plays in that quarter. There was a great Karl Anthony Towns crossover, broke his ankle as well, man. That guy been through the wars, Keyshawn George, in this one. Had his ankle broke and he got yammed on as well in this one. Yeah, that was like a LeBron dunk, SF, definitely. As we have to take a look at the numbers right now, we're going to continue to relive these highlights, but smash that like button. We've got 200 people buzzing in the chat. Well, probably got some Wizards fans as well. Shout out to you guys. You know, the Wizards, you know, I know it hasn't been going well. They obviously want the lottery pick. They're tanking, but there's some bright signs for the future with their length. I think Keyshawn George, Koulibaly, and Champagne, Alex Sarr as well. I mean, those guys should trade Jordan Poole. They should trade Kyle Kuzma, Valanciunas, get them out of there. Let these young Washington kids play. Right, that's what I would want if I'm a Washington fan. But for the New York Knicks, 30 points from Karl Anthony Towns on 13 of 19. But first of all, what stands out to you, the first thing I see, fam, in this box score, outside of the Jalen Brunson double nickel? I'm going to hone in on the foul shots, fam. 24 of 26, fam. 92% from the free throw line. Can we get a shout out for that, man? We only missed 2 free throws out of 26, so we were lasered in from the foul line, and that's how you get win games that you don't have a going. You take full advantage of those foul line shots, free throws, man. You got to hit those free throws. Dermot, great win. Let's go Knicks. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Jalen Brunson, game ball, 7 games in a row. We have a chance to go 8 now as well. David M says, even OG showed emotion on that precious dunk. Yeah, he certainly did, man. Great to see. This team is really coming together. And I think wins like this, you're actually going to, get even tighter, fam. You see Mikal Bridges with his 1,000, dap ups before the game now. He's got a handshake with every single New York Knick. I don't know how he remembers it all, but I salute to these guys. They're building fantastic chemistry. Like AP says, yeah, they upped their defense. We got to give the Knicks credit. They were out of this ball game. They were down 12, believe it or not, right? To everyone's surprise and frustration, the Knicks got no business being down 12, but the fatigue and obviously Washington, really got up for this one. Johnny, salutations. Another all-star performance from the captain. Best believe that, fam. Absolutely. And let's take a look at these stats as well as we give out the next grade. But Jalen Brunson takes the game ball, right? 55 points tonight against the Wiz. He's now registered his 3rd 50-point ball game as a New York Knick, which is tied with Richie Guerin now for the 2nd most in franchise history. Jalen Brunson moving on up, creating more legacy with this one, right? Just tied now with Richie Guerin for the 2nd most 50-point games in franchise history. Need I remind you, this is the only 3rd year that Jalen Brunson has been a New York Knick already, and records are falling right now to this man's brilliance, this man's heroics right now. And like I said, courtesy of MSG, the Knicks are the first team in NBA history to have 4 different players with 40 points or more in one game before January 1st, well, which is absolutely crazy to think about as well. He was an assassin tonight, and he was dealing with a lot of fouls, a lot of length on them, giving props to Washington once again for their defense and making life difficult. But we're learning to fight through all of this as well, fam. I really felt like we should have got some Tyler Kolek out there. Probably Jericho Sims, I think rebounding wise would have been good as well. Sandman says, we finally got to see some post moves from Cat today. The nice jump hooks with both hands as well. Yeah, great point, man. I love the ability for Cat to be under control. They don't look out of control, those hook shots. He's really got strong hands. He can palm the basketball and really cup it. And those hook shots look like he's just kind of, like a little popper shot. Looks like he's just basically throwing the basketball down the hoop as well. Like a grown man playing on a kid's rim right now is Karl Anthony Towns as well. Sneaky hops with Cat as well. And we're going to talk about him next up too. But yeah, I see Mike Blaze comment, even though they won, right? It was not a game to celebrate per se. I think the context of the ball game was, what makes us feel more relieved. But obviously, I think the bigger context is, 7 in a row. In the NBA, it ain't that easy. The more wins you stack up, the higher percentage are that you're going to drop a game, after each and every game. And so the thing to celebrate for me is the 7 wins in a row, not really just tonight. But it is harder to continue to win in the streak. And the New York Knicks are one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. Out of their last 10 ball games, 7 in a row now. And we are 9-1, basically. 9-1 in our last 10 ball games, right? Tied with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we are going to look at the standings next up. But we're going to give up the grade for Karl Anthony Towns and Tibbs as well. Because I did like some things that Tibbs did tonight to help close it out and execute, in regulation as well. But of course, he could have got some more guys in there as well. But salute to you all. Festive vibes tonight. Happy holidays to everyone. Smash that like button. The Knicks All-Stars came to play today, and that's the difference. I mean, simply put, sometimes you just need your All-Stars to bail you out, against these teams when the team just doesn't have it going, too, fam. Um, a win is a win, says Susan. Yeah, the NBA, like we saw it with Utah, when they lost so many in a row and then they got up hard to play us. Washington have only won 5 ball games, so as each and every loss stacks up for them, they're even more desperate, to get that win against you. So, yeah, I do think context is a major thing, but no doubt the Knicks started too sluggish in this one. AP, yeah, we're going to have some more guests coming in shortly. We've got Billy D on the come up soon, definitely. Cross Signal says strange gritty win, definitely. Michael Drake says CT, yes. Don't understand why Tibbs like to tire the players out. I'm not understanding that situation, especially on the second night of a back-to-back. Shamet only playing 6 minutes, Payne only playing 5. Yeah, I think it simply comes down to trust. I think he just trusts these guys to pull out the win. I mean, Tibbs coaches every game like it's, game 7, and he wants to win it that badly, It comes down to you just have to trust more guys. That's what you have training camp for and practice. Cardiac Nick says Nick's opponents always play like it's a playoff game. Even tanking teams come out and give their best effort to beat us. We never get a team a team's let down ever. That's a point as well, fam. I've been thinking for a minute, especially MSG. Everyone's favorite arena. They definitely want to get up. But we are the hunted now. We were the hunters a few years back, but now we're the hunted. And yeah, every team want to come in and ruin our streak. Yeah, so that is definitely a great point, fam. Salute Cardiac. Great to see you. And, I've been thinking that for a long time. I think now the Knicks are rolling. Teams want to be the one, to put the fire out. But the fire was too strong tonight, man. Jalen Brunson was on fire, right? A++ game, another game ball as well. We'll tally up the game balls for the season just to let you know how many game balls each player has got. But we'll have that ready for the next show. But I'm pretty sure Jalen Brunson's leading the pack right now with game balls as well. Slow start to the season. Has Jalen Brunson now been the best Knick for the season as a whole? I think he's definitely close to taking over top spot, fam. I think Cat, OG, and it's been a solid, balancing act, sharing the load with these guys. Mikal Bridges made some key plays as well. I really like Mikal Bridges' defense late. He had those guys in a straitjacket, yeah, and didn't give them an easy bucket as well, and was disciplined as well, not fouling towards the end as well. So yeah, you could say the Knicks won it with their defense as well. But I really like Josh Hart's game, right? Returning home to the area where he grew up. Josh Hart no doubt had family in the crowd, went 5 of 10. But look how many plays he made, man. 11 rebounds, including that savvy play late to evade the foul and milk more time on the clock. 11 rebounds, 7 assists, just 2 turnovers, 13 points, +6, almost a triple-double from the Lion Hart as well. Off a sensational last game. Really, Josh Hart stepped up. Yeah, basketball gods were with us tonight, Red Exodus, guys don't give up. I think if you play the right way as well, ball movement was key, fam, with the assists as a team, 26. But we win another game, 2 games running now, fam, where our 3-point shot has basically betrayed us with 10 of 40, 25% tonight. Fam, we still found a way to win the ball game. I think that could be the most impressive thing. I'm not going to lie. Last game, only put up 15 3-point attempts, and we still blew out a good team that's in 4th seed. Tonight, we beat a bad team, but we couldn't hit the ocean from the 3-point line, man. 25% and still found a way to get it done. So let's take a look at the numbers, fam, right now, and continue to shout you guys out on fire. But I got JB shot chart for you all. Death by 1,000 cuts tonight. This is where Jalen Brunson got his 55 points, man. on a heroic, historic night that we're celebrating now. Look at that in the paint, man. He was living in the paint more than a painter right there. Foul line just beneath, and the floater game was money, manipulation, devastation, and he was killing whoever was on him with length and savviness as well, with the hesitation dribble. Um, the best player to get separation, his size, I think his height or below. I think Jalen Brunson is just too sneaky. Like Cardiac says, yeah, JB was a game time decision and drops 55. I mean, you can't make that up. That's all this, man. Forget about all those players that have come through the building in the past that taken the Knicks money but haven't played hard. You know, Jalen Brunson is the complete opposite. You know, literally, if he's alive, you know, he'll want to play. You know, so you have to admire that. I think obviously, you know, he takes after the coach as well. I think they meet each other with the same identity. Um, they took it to us, AP Washington, definitely. You know, they played up in the competition, and we played down to it. There's no doubt about it. Buzzer says Knicks deserve a day off. Yep, truer words have never been spoken, fam. But the ball movement, I'll always say, man, we'll find a way to get points. If we can get stops, like Alan Hahn and Kenny on the call kept saying, if you can find a way to get stops, we'll get buckets. Because our cutting and our ball movement with Hart, Bridges, OG, you know, Brunson will find you, Cat will find you as well. You know, our offense got us. Our offense kept us in the ball game. Our defense won us the ball game. I think so. We can win multiple ways, fam. 7 steals, both teams 15 turnovers apiece, as well. Look at the differential in the 3-point percentage, fam. With them shooting 44% and the New York Knicks only shooting 25%, and we still found a way to pull it out. We won points in the paint for the second night back to back, as well, and fast break points were very even as well, 14 to 18 in fast break points as well. I really like that quarterback, man, that outlet pass. I think it was Hart that threw it down the court. Basically, I was going to say down the field, but it was definitely a great outlet pass that got the Knicks an easy bucket. You know, that frustrated the Washington coach, Brian Key, former Knicks assistant. I think that was a smart play as well. The Knicks actually played some smart offense, but I think just our legs betrayed us, you know, because we were obviously fatigued after last night. Reports during the broadcast that the Knicks didn't get back to their hotel until 2 a.m. after Orlando, the long flight from Orlando to Washington. So, look, you can understand, yeah, we should have had a better start. But here we are. We sit here, we escape with the dub, fam. And we keep moving. We move. We move. You can't live by the three, says Paula. Yeah, there's no Steph Curry on this team. There's nothing wrong with twos. Yeah, I think we've got some great guys for the two-man game as well. 2-point game with Cat, you know, like Cardiac says, and Sandman says with the hook shot. Also, you know, Mikal Bridges, one of the most deadly shooters in the mid-range as well. We've got a lot of guys. Brunson with the floater as well, of course. So who should we talk next? Karl Anthony Towns, I think 13 of 19. 2 of 5 from 3. That was big on a night where we couldn't get, you know, the 3 ball going. Cat was our best shooter, you know, percentage wise. 14 rebounds, you know, had a little bit of foul trouble early, but then didn't pick up any more fouls, which was good. 30 piece plus 8, 2 blocks, including a huge stuff as well that avoided a fast break bucket for Washington as well. So I'm seeing Cat's growth on the defensive side, protecting the rim. Obviously, we need that for a full 40 minutes, you know, when he's out there. But, you know, I am seeing him pick up more of those rim blocks on the help side. So he deserves a big shout out for that. 3 assists as well, 14 rebounds. I mean, 30 and 14 is nothing to sneeze at, guys. It's all-star numbers. So with that said, let's dial up Cat's grade. What do you guys want to give? As Paula says, A++ for Brunson. Absolutely. Yeah, the local kid Champagne. The Knicks, I'm sure, would have known about him coming up, but he slipped through the cracks. And I think the Knicks could have added him definitely at some point, and his bro. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go because of some foul trouble, slow start, but a better finish. Cat gets the A still for me, right? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And he came to play late and helped the Knicks pull this one out with stops. And of course, big time buckets from Karl Anthony Towns. He had, Sarr draped all over him. Sometimes he had three dudes on him as well, fouling him as well. He battled through frustration. And I want to echo this again. I've said this in the last show. I'm seeing a lot of maturity from Karl Anthony Towns, just in terms of on court behavior. And I think, some of you guys talking about Randall in the chat, and there's been a lot of, widespread media attention on Minnesota. I think the way Cat's handled himself off the court and on the court with the Knicks, I mean, it's been perfect. I don't think he's battled through, non-calls where he deserves to get fouls, and then he's battled through, fouls called against him when they were ticky-tack. He's, building chemistry with his teammates, but he's fighting through it, and he's definitely, showing some leadership and maturity. I think is Karl Anthony Towns. So, I mean, on a couple of down nights, we're still getting 30 and 20, from him, 20 and 10 still on a down night. Well, so yeah, no doubt in my mind that two players on the first team All NBA, in my opinion, should be Cat and should be Brunson right now. At the very least, one of those should be first team All NBA, and the other one definitely should be second team All NBA. I think when the teams get announced. He was a great steal from Mikal Bridges as well, getting into the passing lane. We're going to talk about Bridges up right now, fam. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you've just joined us. It's great to have you with us with the community out here. Knicks fans, keep it buzzing. The best in the business. And I think the Knicks, 7 in a row. I think momentum is starting to grow even more. And it's like a snowball, fam. It just continues to roll right now. Two very winnable games coming up. I think we escaped the one that we may have slipped tonight, and I think we'll come ready for the next one. I don't think the next Washington game will be as close, fam. And I know that that might be a bold take, given the fact that tonight was way too close, but I think they will respect Washington more in the next game and come out to try to blow them out early in this one. Yeah. Cross signal dials up the A. Cat with the A as well from Michael. Yeah, I saw that from Wemby, hanging out playing chess with the community as well. That was interesting, fam. I think that's some good marketing. Big Dave says Cat is really blending nicely with this team, and I'll give him an A. Yep, great minds think alike with this one. I think he's definitely growing in maturity. He's 29 now, 28 is Cat. But Mikal Bridges, fam, 3 steals tonight. His defense is improving. Gave us 21 valuable points on 8 of 14. Efficient once again from the field. 3 of 9 from distance. 2 of 2 from the foul line. 3 rebounds and 3 assists from Mikal Bridges with +4 in the box score as well. So let's dial up a grade right now for Mikal Bridges. And as he's becoming more consistent, I'm really factoring that in because he deserves, more flowers. I think having bounced back, with that momentum, right? And despite a slow start, I do think that he came good late in the ball game as well, and the efficient shooting from the field got some key stops on Malcolm Brogdon. He was switched out onto Koulibaly and to Keyshawn George as well. Our point of attack defender, ladies and gentlemen, Mikal Bridges, is definitely making us proud right now with 3 steals and scoring 20 plus in his last 12 ball games. Well, so he's given us exactly what we wanted to have when we traded for him, and I think that he has another level that he can get to. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, 7 in a row. Let's salute to that out here, ladies and gentlemen. the Champagne boys. Shout out to Champagne. He gave me cardiac problems tonight, man. I mean, I was so frustrated. He was getting wide open looks, but he was just drilling them, you know, like it was practice. Right now, I was like, can somebody guard the man, and get a body on him? To uh, Like I said, it's tough in that way because they're unpredictable. You take Jordan Poole, Kuzma, and other guys out of this squad, and it's basically just hoist threes, and anyone can, has the green light. Tonight it was Kispert, it was Champagny, and even Valanciunas was showing why he could be a very valuable, trade pickup as well. I think Valanciunas has been up and down this season, mostly down, but I think tonight's performances, you look at that and you think, there'll definitely be a lot of teams try to get a Valanciunas at the trade deadline, especially the Lakers, Memphis, who badly need a center out there as well. I know Valanciunas used to play for Memphis as well, which is crazy, and yeah, some other teams out there as well. Let's see, but I do think Walker Kessler. I think he's the main prize for any team looking for a big. I do think Utah, will definitely be looking to move on and try to get the best package they can from Walker Kessler. They're tanking, and he's on an expiring deal soon. Being such a young piece, right? We don't know what Danny Ainge is going to do, fam. But here's another corner three in transition from Mikal Bridges, courtesy of JB, who was dishing tonight with another 9 dimes, 55 points, crazy night, 16 of 17 from the free throw line was JB. Hashtag JB, like Buzzer Beater says, you're on it. Giving him his flowers, his props tonight. David M says it's all about the environment. Cat came to New York and a team that's all about hard work, unselfishness, and winning, and he's fitting in perfectly. Yeah, I think leadership of Brunson. Not a lot's been said about the fact that we made a captain official in the preseason, right? You don't know many teams that officially appoint a captain, and I think the way we did it makes sense. Jalen Brunson wants to lead. He wants to take on that responsibility, and I think definitely guys are benefiting. Hart's showing that he's a leader as well. Yeah, there's a lot of leaders in that locker room, fam. I just think that some of the younger guys got to step up, when the chips are down. Like we see tonight, Cameron Payne, Deuce McBride, some of these guys, they're going to rely on these leaders to keep their heads up, on a down night when the shot just ain't falling, seems like nothing's going your way, and you just have to find a way to grit it out. I think Precious Achua was obviously big time as well. We're going to give the bench their flowers in a minute after these starters and Tibbs, right? But next up is Josh Hart. I mean, what a player! Like I said, he's stuffed the stat sheet. Let's pull up some of the highlights from Jay Hart in this one. But yeah, almost a triple double. Returning home, close to the area, and I love his reaction. Actually, you see Hart in the background of this one. Let's see if they've got him. It might be just cut out. Yeah, it might be in the wide angle. But yeah, he was given some crazy faces after, as we all were, after that stuff by Precious Achua. Yeah, unselfish play. Hart makes plays happen. I like this play from Hart. He collapses the defense. He can dribble and get penetration, and he'll find the big man for the alley-oop as well. He's like a point guard in a wing's body, and I don't think that's an understatement. There aren't many shooting guards, threes that can play make to the level of Josh Hart. He's not a score first kind of guy, but he's kind of do it all. Get you involved. It's kind of the guy where the defense forgets about. They're keen in on Cat, they're keen in on Brunson, they're keen in on Bridges and OG, and Hart just makes them pay. Because look how much space he has. And a guy that can make plays and dribble and create, you don't want to leave him with too much space. Otherwise he's just going to kill you. So yeah, another smart read from Jay Hart in this one. and he was 5 of 10. Missed 3 of his threes, so the 3-point ball has regressed a bit from Hart. But he stepped up in other ways. 11 rebounds, 7 assists, and 13 points on a +6 with 1 steal as well, and including heady plays late, avoiding taking the fouls when necessary to avoid heartbreak. And finding the captain JB and stepping up and hitting free throws as well too. So Josh Hart, sensational in this one. Let's pull up his grade right now. So I'm definitely giving Hart, I'm going to go with this grade. And he's going to get an A. For me, is the Lion Hart stepping up once again. Thank you, Susan. Really appreciate it. It's always great to have you with us as well. And your input is much appreciated. Let's get it. Glenn says, I used to say Josh Hart was the new John Starks. I was wrong. He's better than John Starks. Plays smart, hard, not too emotional, and rebounds the hell out of the ball. Yeah, I think he's the new generation. I think that's a good way to say it, fam. Great comment. John Starks, one of my favorite Knicks growing up. And, there's one thing I could say about Hart, man. He just gets it, Remember when the trade was first announced and he, put up that video with, the Instagram video reel with New York, Ja Rule and Fat Joe and Jadakiss. And he's like, he embraced the city, embraced the environment, the role, the team, and the coach as well. He's just a team first kind of guy. And I think, for a guy that's been, passed around the league, not to say that in a negative sense, but he's learned, he's matured. He's played on the Lakers, the Pels, the Portland Trailblazers. He couldn't find a home, and here he is, man. He is ours right now. He's untradeable, I think. I know Dante got traded, and everyone will say that no one's untouchable, but the Knicks ain't trading Josh Hart, right? Tibbs would have an aneurysm. Tibbs would have a cardiac arrest. Tibbs will march into Leon's office and kill him if that was ever a scenario, and I don't think that's even realistic. I think he's the closest thing to an untradeable non-star. He just means so much to the team, and he means so much to the to the city and to the locker room as well. So yeah, much deserved A for that one. Looks like Philly's losing to Utah. We're going to look at that in a minute. Salute coach in the building. Happy New Year to everyone coming up in a minute. Happy belated Christmas as well. We're going to ring in the new year big time. The January schedule is tricky, but very home heavy with this one. So next up is OG Anunoby, right? And to shout him out, let's pull up his big time 3, right? If you peep the score at the time, right? This one was the New York Knicks down 6, right? The New York Knicks were down 6, and our backs were to the wall, man. Things weren't looking good when the captain found OG Anunoby wide open, man. It seems like OG, the bigger the shot, the more chance it's going in, I find. OG usually has some of those slow starts and a little bit of, streaky shooting early in ball games. But when it comes to the third quarter and the fourth quarter, it just seems like when OG's wide open, I just feel like it's going in. Do you get that sense as well? I feel like it's automatic. When they find OG, he's that kind of guy that, some players go down with fatigue. When your stamina meter goes down, there's more of a chance that you'll make a mistake. I feel like OG's the opposite, man. He finds a new gear. I don't know if it's Gatorade, Powerade, whatever it is, fam. Coffee, love, whatever it is. When the game's on the line, OG seems to become bigger, man. He's a big game player. He steps up, and whether it's defensively, gets a stop, gets a strip as well. He rarely makes a mistake late in a ball game, fam. What's up, Bob? Man, I think OG was tired, back-to-back 40-plus minutes. Yeah, I won't be surprised. Yeah, you'd definitely be feeling it. I think this whole team, like Buzzer says, the whole team deserves a day off, fam. and we're back at it on Monday. Obviously, we're close to this. We're close to home at least. I think the team can get back into their to their homes tonight early. I think at a good hour, get a good night's rest, fam. If I'm Tibbs, no practice tomorrow, man. Sleep in, or recovery. Ice bath. Get that recovery in now, fellas, for the next one, right? Because yeah, Washington is gonna, definitely want to get us back, right? I don't think we'll stay in Washington. Maybe they will, but I'm pretty sure they would go back to New York with tomorrow off, and then make the trip, to Washington again. Cardiac says our bench is our Achilles heel, no doubt. We must improve it by the trade deadline. Hopefully, we can get a quality player via the buyout market as well. Yeah, the buyout market. The Knicks are definitely going to be doing their groundwork with the agents and potential buyout guys as well. Yeah, I think Leon Rose will find another gem, fam. I think he will. Most likely on the buyout, but let's see. But for OG Anunoby's grade, his numbers, first up, 4 of 12, including 1 of 5, that big three, 4 rebounds, 1 turnover, 9 points, -2, right? And a steal. So he got a steal, 4 rebounds, was definitely super fatigued with 42 minutes on his legs tonight. So, yeah, I mean, maybe one of these guys might need to just sit a game out, as the season and the mileage starts to, stack up on these guys, man. Let's find a game on the calendar where we can sit OG Anunoby, I feel, and rest his legs a bit. But definitely, like I said, that NBA Cup break was a blessing. I think that was definitely a blessing in disguise, as the New York Knicks didn't have to play that extra game and go to Vegas. Yeah, despite, a very underwhelming box score, I'm going to give OG Anunoby an A- still, because late, big shot here, helped the Knicks get the win and force OT. But also, defensively, he stepped up, like he does. And basically, the Knicks shut Washington down, being a young team. They just didn't know what to do, and that's why you need go-to players in the clutch. Yeah, LB so wavy. They could stay in DC. It's not far away, definitely. I think, yeah, Pat Riley used to give some nights off, says AP. Building blocks, this should go back tonight. Yeah, just a 3.5 hour drive back. Could be a train ride as well. Sleep in their own bed, get some rest all day Sunday, and then, yeah, fresh for Monday as well. I think we'll be a lot more fresh, I think. I don't think it's so much the minutes. I think tonight was, last night, Orlando, incredibly physical ball game on that one. But I want your grades for Tom Thibodeau, right? What do you think about Tibbs' performance tonight and getting this club to where it is right now? 12 games over 500, season high right now, rolling, tied for the hottest team in the league, 9-1 over the last 10. And now, obviously, back-to-back winners in this back-to-back, first back-to-back of the season, or I think second back-to-back of the season. And we still pulled it out. Right. But what I like from Tibbs first, I think late we executed, one of the best single game executions for Tibbs in late games. It was almost perfect. The out of bounds play to find Cat almost for the layup with 0.8 seconds remaining. That would have been amazing if the Knicks could have ended that in regulation. I think it was really close, to making it happen. Shout out to Brunson as well, who found, Cat cutting to the basket. That was a beautiful pass as well, right? That was amazing. But then the second thing I liked from Tibbs was, the scheme, fouling, up 3, not allowing Washington to even get a shot up, a 3-point shot without fouling as well. So I like that execution, from Tibbs in this one. Neymar says B+ or B- for Tibbs. Okay. Bob gives an A for Tibbs. We saw how he made adjustments late in the game It was 111 to 107, and we came back and won it. Michael Drake says Tibbs C for not subbing in the bench with the 5 players who can score and the fatigue with that. So a bit of a mixed bag coming through. So I'm going to dial up the grade for Tibbs in this one. I know there was the slow start, and I didn't like the fact that he didn't get guys more minutes tonight. But at the end, we got it. We pulled it out. We pulled it out. That's the most important thing. He made adjustments, just like Bob says. There definitely wasn't all good, but yeah, more so things that I don't see very often from Tibbs, which is good out of timeout plays, and obviously, close to perfect execution down the stretch with the free throws and the foul game and all that. I know friend of the show, shout out Coach Nick of B-Ball Breakdown, and we're going to have Coach on soon and talk to him about, the Knicks' crazy run offensively right now in their season. But I know he's going to appreciate, he is big on fouling when you're up 3 and not allowing, these talented NBA players to get that shot up, because they're going to beat you if they're going to hit it if you let them. So that is our starting 5. The heroes, of course, Jalen Brunson led this team to the victory. 7 straight now. Let's continue to roll, fam. The chat's buzzing. Smashing that like button. Who was your best player off the bench? Let's pull up the numbers. Yeah, the picture of Tibbs, it was an early preseason one, fam. So for you, I'll switch it up. I know you want me to switch that one up. But off our bench tonight, Precious Achiuwa had the highlight play of the night, of course. So let's start with him, right? For those that missed it, once again, we're going to pull that up. I just love that still image, man. That is, that's a murder right there. The cock back as well. He had the power to slam that one down, and just the aesthetics of it in stride as he caught it, fast break in transition. Well, and the crowd, my God, can we shout out the crowd tonight, man? In the nation's capital, the Knicks crowd was huge in that one, man. I felt their presence as well. We had Let's Go Knicks chants, we had defense chants. Yeah, they were giving this team energy tonight like it was a home game. But of course, the poster that had everyone buzzing right there, Landry with the assist, and man, that is pretty. Right, I could watch that 1,000 times. Look at the emotion from Kolek, an OG Anunoby. Well, and look at how stoic Precious Achiuwa is, man. He is a dog. Like Buzzer showed me in the off-season, man, this guy's been walking with lions, in the wild. He's not phased. He's not shook by anything. This is what he does, fam. He plays with danger. He plays with fire. And he's got a big motor as well, just Precious. So he's definitely taken big strides in that one. So first grade off our bench, fam. We only had 8 points off our bench. Like Building Block says, struggles that way. Hopefully Landry Shamet can help some of that, fam. But I do feel like Tyler Kolek deserves some minutes. I'm not going to lie. I'll say it again. I've been really impressed with Tyler Kolek's stretch with the G League recently. The G League Showcase, he won the MVP. Westchester Knicks have been rolling, and Kolek just makes it look easy with them, scoring and distributing. I think he's ready for NBA action, on a major scale. But let's see what Tibbs does. We definitely need some help, some spark off our bench, moving and scoring, and sharing the rock. But 19 minutes for Precious, definitely could have got more. That's back-to-back nights where he's played, 20 last night, 19 tonight. Both games with foul trouble for Karl Anthony Towns. So Precious, not great, but obviously the highlight play, and gave the Knicks healthy minutes with 7 rebounds, including 2 offensive boards and 2 assists as well. 2 turnovers, including 1 sloppy one and 1 foul. 3 points, +6. So that is big, on a game where we were trailing for quite a minute. He was still +6 with his 19 minutes. So, I don't look for Precious for the scoring to come from him. I think rebounding, shot blocking, assists, they're all bonuses that you take. But yeah, I'm going to give Precious a B- for tonight. So, he was solid in those minutes. He can be better, obviously, with some of those turnovers. But I think one of the catalysts to the Knicks going on this major run, I think after we got the best version of Mikal Bridges, was the first domino. The second domino was Precious Achiuwa returning, who was, our bench was even weaker before Precious, got healthy. I think that's the second domino to this run after Mikal Bridges getting right. I think the third one is obviously, hopefully, now Landry Shamet coming back. And then the fourth one, hopefully, Mitchell Robinson or another piece coming in. But I think, yeah, all of those things have been a major factor in, the Knicks now winning, a 7 in a row now, and getting some, valuable, minutes off our bench from these guys. So yeah, Precious gets the B- for me. Buzzer beater gives Chewy a B. Not a lot of points, but one belongs on the post, a dunk. For that, salute Buzzer. Michael gives Precious a B- and Deuce a B-. So let's touch on Deuce next up. Cardiac Nick says, let Payne, Tyler, and Pacome, Cook and Huck. Cook. Yep. Bob says Cat had 30 on 13 of 19. What a game. Yeah, starting five's just playing at elite level right now offensively. And our defense has stepped up recently. Yeah, we're going to need more solid minutes from Precious Achiuwa. He's so valuable to us as a team, and hopefully he can give us a bit more defense and offense as well before Mitch can get back. But Deuce McBride, next up. Let's talk about Deuce because, yeah, the shot has regressed a bit, he was on such a high for so long, and I thought he was going to continue to keep it up. But yeah, Deuce hasn't, really been in rhythm recently. 1 of 5 tonight, 1 of 4 from 3. Didn't get a rebound. So didn't get a rebound, 1 assist, 1 block, and 2 fouls, 3 points, -3 for Deuce. Deuce is not loose right now. Unfortunately, we need him scoring at least, 10 to 15 points, ideally, as our 6th man. But look, he'll come right. He'll come good. He puts in the work, so I'm not worried at all about Deuce. I think that'll just be fuel for him, to get back in rhythm. But right now, yeah, if Deuce is in rhythm as our 6th man, we often blow teams out because when Brunson sits and these other guys are sitting, he comes in, he takes over the scoring, and he lights it up. So yeah, we definitely need Deuce to return, but a very underwhelming performance in terms of offense. Look, defense, he'll continue to give you the effort and the energy and all of that. That's non-negotiable for Deuce. So yeah, I'll give Deuce a C for tonight. Actually, I might adjust that for Deuce. No, I'll keep it the same. Actually, yeah, it was Precious that was +6. The reason, yeah, Precious Achiuwa gets the B- was he was +6 in the box score, and yeah, Deuce was a -3 as well. So we'll lose in those minutes when he was out there. But Landry Shamet, Cameron Payne, Champagne is in action right now, but yeah, didn't give us much tonight once again. So heavy minutes for our starters. Unfortunately, Landry Shamet, good game last night in his spot minutes, but tonight, second night of a back-to-back, he's still working his way into conditioning, and I think Landry's best basketball will be yet to come once he can get into more rhythm. But yeah, I'm glad that he's in to the rotation. That's another guy that can at least, eat up some more minutes, guys. Yeah. What are you expecting from Landry Shamet? ideally, do you think we'll upgrade that spot? And, and maybe he'll lose a rotation spot. Let's see. Um, Susan says, I hope that the Knicks end the first half of the season on a winning streak. We're going to look at the January schedule right now, coming up in a minute. But yeah, Matt Ryan was on the bench still, fam. He's on the two-way contract now. So he's still with the ball club. But yeah, I think Matt Ryan was on the bench. But yeah, for Landry, for Campaign, I mean, Cameron Payne gave us 2 points. So that's something. That's 2 of our 8 points off the bench. You know, often he helps us get fast break points just because he plays, at a faster tempo. Payne gave us a steal as well, a steal and a defensive rebound. Shamet gave us a steal also, and 1 assist too. So let's dial up the grades for those two. Limited minutes. I'm going to basically give them share the grades and give the same as I did for Deuce, and they're going to get a C and another C as well. Let me dial that up for Campaign as well. Yeah, it's the triple C's tonight for Deuce, Landry, and Campaign, and Precious Achua gets the B minus, fam, as well. So yeah, we're going to need more bench production. That is a concern, like Cardiac said. I'm not going to lie. I think, whether if this continues, I think you'll look at some options. But obviously, Leon Rose in the front office, I think, are doing their due diligence around the league right now. Remember, don't be baited into some of this clickbait as well. The Knicks will be doing due diligence. It doesn't mean that a particular trade is going to happen. Usually, when the Knicks do a move, no one hears about it, until it's basically final and the Shams bomb, hits. But we'll bring you up to speed with the latest news and rumors coming into trade deadline as well. It is definitely going to be a busy period. So yeah, I've heard, like Buzzer said, apparently Tankathon have us as the 5th most difficult schedule, I think, right, coming in to the rest of the season. Right, I think, it was Buzzer Beater that hit us with this earlier. Salute to you once again. Appreciate you. Tankathon, we have the 5th hardest remaining schedule in the NBA. The Celtics have the 5th easiest. But what I do, I take that with a grain of salt because like you see tonight, a game on paper theoretically can look easier as these metrics, try to calculate. But sometimes you just got to play the games, players get injured, other players step up. Every game is a game where you need to bring your A game. You have to bring it. Otherwise, it's going to be tough. And on that note, before we do the look ahead right now and smash that like button, guys, we have to take advantage of our schedule, and win these next, win the next 2 at least, with this one now in the books. As the Knicks continue to roll, 7 straight. We've got Washington once again, and then Utah, right? Payback, right? There's only one thing on my mind when I hear the Utah Jazz right now, fam. It's payback, fam. Danny Ainge, that game in Utah, really, forget all the losses this season. The one that left me the most sour was the Utah one, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which loss this season left you the most heated? I mean, I gotta say the Atlanta NBA Cup game obviously was up there. I think equal, maybe tied, equal. The 2 Atlanta ones were very frustrating, but the Utah Jazz one, man, was just insane. Right, the way the way they came out and the way we fought back and left that one, let that one slip too. So. Yeah, let's dial up the NBA look now, the standings. Michael, the Knicks are rolling. Now, let's refresh and get that 7-game winning streak up, fam. Right, I don't think this has been adjusted, fam. I don't see how the Knicks can be 8-2. We're on a 7-game winning streak. maybe we have to win the next one to be 9-1. But let's see, we are 22-10 now, creating separation over the Orlando Magic with 3.5 games on them, which is great. The hottest team in the East, win streak 7, Cleveland 6 right now. So we officially are the hottest team in the East right now with the longest win streak too. Only still within, touching range of Cleveland, only 6 games in the loss column, 5.5 back of Cleveland as well, but only 1.5 actually back of the Boston Celtics. Darren says the Atlanta losses hurt me the most. Yeah, F. Trae Young. I feel you, definitely. Susan says Hawks will get theirs. Yeah, they'll get their wings clipped. AP says ATL, Utah, and the Chicago one. Yeah, the Chicago one was bad. It was definitely a little bit further down. That my memory isn't as strong with the Utah or the Atlanta ones, fam. Here's another one, man. Top 3, close to the Utah and the Atlanta one, was the Rockets one, man. Houston Rockets, fam. Dylan Brooks, man. Every time I see him, I want to beat them, fam. Jalen Green, the referees doing us over in that one once again as well. LB So Wavy says Hawks in this order: Jazz, Rockets, Pistons. Yeah, I feel you on that. So yeah, you guys also felt the pain as me with the Utah one, the Rockets too. Yeah, Piston ones was frustrating, definitely, but I felt like Pistons, you could see clearly they're a better team, so it didn't bother me as much. They've got some talent with Cade, who played at a kind of an all-star level game, and they're in 9th as well. But yeah, to lose to the Bulls was definitely bad. Look, to think that the Hawks are 17-5, but 2 of their wins account for 2 of our losses. So if you reverse that, the Hawks would be 15-17, and they'd be so far back. And you give us 2 more wins and 2 less losses. Don't forget. So we would be 24-8, 24-8, and the Hawks would be 15-17. Right, it'd be a 9-game swing. We'd be 9 games ahead of the Hawks. If we had beat those 2 games against the Hawks. Now today's action. Let's look at the scores. We have the Dubs and the Suns locked in late in the 4th quarter. Well, that's league pass alert. Right here, the Hawks picked up the win over the Heat. Jimmy Butler, Pat Riley. Let's see what happens. What I think that Pat Riley tried to do was to put Jimmy on the block. He didn't get the offers that he liked or hoped that he was going to get. And then he retracted and he said, no, we can't deal Jimmy. We can't send him away for Bradley Beal. It's tough now with these aprons, There's not a lot of trades that can happen out there as well. I think Portland will be a big facilitator because they've got cap space. They've got Jeremy Grant, kind of deal. They've got major salaries that they can, swing deals with. So I do think, Portland's a team to watch. Memphis will be active. I think the Bucks will be looking to make an upgrade. And keep an eye out on Indiana, who are struggling. They've got pieces on very tradable deals. Obi Toppin, Miles Turner. They're underachieving. I do think the Indiana pacemakers will be looking to try to do something. Because, 15-17, that ain't going to cut it. With the big boys, fam. They've been found out. They're frauds right now. Yeah, Susan, the Pistons are not the same team. They've definitely made some improvement. They've got some veterans. The young players have stepped up. Bob says Boston on opening night for me. Yeah, that hurts in different ways for me. The way we lost was crazy. Definitely. CT Sixers says they're coming. Sixers struggling big time. We did beat the Nuggets and bounce back in that one. Yeah, after the Utah game. It's kind of like, yeah, you can look at it in context. If you have a really bad loss, sometimes that means you bounce back and you win a game that you didn't think you were going to win. And so, I don't think I'd be complaining if we had beat Utah and we had lost to Denver, or we'd beat Utah and Denver and we lost to Phoenix. But we beat Phoenix, we beat the Nuggets, and we lost to Utah. So, look, at the end of the day, it's all about, how many wins and how many losses at the end of the season. All teams are going to lose to, teams that they shouldn't lose to, and they're going to beat some teams that they might not think they'll beat. I think it's all to do with scheduling sometimes. But look how consistent we are. We're better than the Magic, although they've got injuries. Better than the Bucks, who have been pretty healthy. The Knicks deserve their flowers because, the national media like to hype up the Bucks. They like to hype up the Heat, the Pacers, Philly. We don't hear as much heat or much attention on them now that they're struggling. If the Knicks were struggling, you damn know that, the rest of the league would be, sinking the boot in. But right now, some of these teams are underachieving, and I don't think they're getting the criticism that they deserve, especially the Heat, the Pacers as well. Halliburton's supposed to be an all-star. He's been playing like a G leaguer at times. Yeah, the Rockets are crazy, man. Rockets are crazy. That game, especially in Texas too. I'm glad the next game against the Rockets is at MSG, man. We're going to give them a dose of New York, hostility. Man, we're going to give them some New York energy in that game. Yeah, we had a lot of injuries last year as well, AP, and no one made excuses for us. Yeah, definitely. The Cavs game, let's not forget about that, man. That was so far back as well at MSG. Huck Porty had the huge slam, was waved off for clearing space or whatever it is. I mean, they allow that all the time, which was kind of crazy. But what a night, man! What a night that we witnessed too. Sloppy game, but it won't be a game that I forget anytime soon, man. Jalen Brunson's 55 points. It builds character. This team, they're finding new ways to win, right? It ain't pretty all the time, and we're still figuring things out. We need more depth, I think. We need some extra help off the bench, whether that be extra guys in the rotation. Some of our rookies couldn't. You see a lot of these contenders, they're playing rookies, Ryan Dunn is giving Phoenix some good energy. When Indiana were making a run last season, they were relying on their young guys to give them a spark. I think every good team needs a couple of young guys to give them some energy. I think Tibbs should be looking at that. I don't know if it's Huck Porty, Kolek. I really like Dadier's giving us some minutes early in the season, but Tibbs went away from that. And I think it's a long grind. Just to recap where we're at, things are, going as well as they could be in terms of record, right? And the New York Knicks at that point now where we put our foot on the gas and we're leaving teams behind right now. 12 games over 500. But we need to be smart. We need to look ahead right now as the month of January is on screen. Look how many games at home. But some of these teams, man, back-to-backs with Oklahoma, Chicago. I'd probably sign up for a split in that one. I'd probably sign up for a split. Not going to lie, Oklahoma, Chicago. Milwaukee, Detroit. I think we should hopefully beat both of those games. We play Orlando again soon. Early January at MSG. Raptors, well, Oklahoma again as well at MSG. Atlanta, Brooklyn on a back-to-back with some travel. Actually, no travel because the Atlanta game is in New York and then Brooklyn is in Brooklyn. So, yeah, no travel with that one. And then to close the month, Sacramento, Memphis, and the Nuggets. Well, so yeah, January, fam. I think, just keep winning, take care of business, spread the minutes around, and try to keep guys fresh. I know the All-Star break is going to be a really welcome break as well, fam, for our team. I don't think OG Anunoby is going to make an All-Star team, although, by all means, let's try to vote him in. But I do think OG Anunoby could benefit from, having an extra break. Although, yeah, it ain't like the All-Star game is very taxing. But yeah, I think Brunson and Cat will be in the All-Star game, but Hart, the other guys, I think February they'll get a nice break as well. Usually the team doesn't play for 6 to 7, 8 days. I think that's going to be good. The trade deadline as well. Could be some new pieces as well. But the Knicks 7 in a row. Brunson was the hero tonight, fam, as you all are. Salute Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing. Smash that like button. And let's get it again on Monday night against these Wiz. Right, we'll be there for it. Buzzing again. Peace, everyone. Have a great night.